Welcome back. So in the last lecture, we were discussing about we saw how we can rotate any text and how we can put color behind it. Now, if I want to add borders to the table, because these lines, they are not borders, they are just there to tell you where what the cell size is. If you want to add border, so you need to select the cells. So in my case, let me just drag it down. Just need to hold, press the mouse and drag it all the way until the end. And then just go here. So here you see different options. If you want to add border on just one side, or no border at all, or all borders, or a thicker box outside, or double borders. You can even draw your own borders, erase border, so let me just select this all borders, and it gives a very nice border to the each cell. Now, if this you want to differentiate between the data and the heading, and you want a box or a thick border, or if you want a thick border on the outside, so we have this option here, thick border box. So it will actually cover all the cells which is select, and it will thicken its outside border. So for example, if I select these these cells and I go here, so now you can see that the border here is thickened as compared to these. In this way you can add a border to your data, and for the rest of so if you will copy it to somewhere else, the data will this formatting will also be copied, and you don't have to add or if you want to print it out on some sheet, so it will be having these lines. Otherwise the data will be only be symmetric, but they will not have these lines between them. Okay, so now if you want to add a line, a row in on the top to or somewhere between, and if you want to insert some data, so you can simply right click here, and it will give you different options. So if you just press insert, it will insert one row, and if you want to add more than one row, so you can simply select more than one rows, and you press again insert, so it will again insert two rows. And if you want to delete them, right click and delete. Okay, now if I want to differentiate, like for example, if I want these two parameters, if I'm getting these parameters from different sources, and I want to differentiate it here so that the people can fill it out themselves. So I want to merge these cells, like if these two things, order date and the region, comes from, let's suppose, Mr. A, and let me just copy it here, Mr. A. Okay, similarly this Mr. B, Mr. C, and so on. Now, if I want to merge these two cells, and so that there is only one information, we can do it using this. Now, notice that we had the data in both cells, so you need to be very careful, because once it's merged, it will only keep the data that is on the upper left cell value, and it will discard the other values. So if I press OK, so it will merge the two cells and it will become one cell. Same goes for here, because we don't have any data in this cell, it will not give us an error. Same goes for this, it will not give us an error. Let's suppose now this unit cost and these units and this unit cost, it comes from Mr. C, but let's suppose they are being assigned to Mr. D, the unit cost. So you can simply unmerge it from here. You just click it back and it will go back to its unmerged position, and you can add Mr. D here. So that's how you merge and unmerge the cells. Okay, now if I want to set the height or to set the the dimension of a cell, how am I going to do that? Or if I want to set the height of a row or a column, how am I going to do that? So if I want to set the height of this row, that how high it is, there are two ways. One, I can move it from here. So you can move it like this, and you can move it back like this. If you don't want to do that, and or if you have you need to move more than one cell, so you just simply select all these up and move any one of them. They all will be moved simultaneously. If you have a proper dimension that you want to add, so just simply right click and come to row height and add this dimension. So it will give you the current value, which is 23.25, the height of it. Let me set it to something like 10. So it will simply go congested in the row height. Okay, and similarly, if you want to do it for the others as well, so you just simply select them all, right click, row height 10. Notice that it did not give any value for the row height because we had different row heights for our selection. So press a 10, it will select all the row. Similarly, if you want any column to be selected, so if I select these two columns, or let's for that matter, let us select all of these columns, right click, column width. Now there are different column widths. I want to give column width of 20. So what it did, it spread it out, all the column widths, all of exactly same size to the 20. Notice that the merged cells, they will be now of 40 each because they are sharing the two columns. So they will be 40, and if I go back, I'll 10, and we are back. Um, we can even do more, we can go to 5, and we have this. Now if you see these things, it means that the column width is not sufficient to display the data, so rather it displays these hash tags, hashes here. So to remove these things, all you need to do is to widen your column and you'd get the data as needed. So this is all about the merging and unmerging of the cells, setting the row and width of the column, and setting the border of the data. In the next lecture, we will learn more about the format printing and how we can save these documents and in which format.